We all set?
Hey,
Just
folks,
waiting
you're
for
live.
the-
Go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this evening, October 22nd, 2020 zoning board meeting. Let's all please say the Pledge of Allegiance to be led by Commissioner Creighton.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America,
America, to the republic
for
for
which
which
it
it stands,
one nation,
one
under
nation,
God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
liberty,
Liberty and
liberty
justice for all.
and justice for all.
Commissioner Alton,
Present.
Commissioner Creighton,
present,
Commissioner Acevedo,
Present.
Commissioner Reckner, Commissioner Brooks,
Present.
Commissioner Leonetti,
Present.
Chairman Morelli.
Present.
Commissioner Reckner is absent.
We'll announce the one case of 108 Harding that's been taken off the calendar for a vote. What was the case number of that, Ms. Lynch?
Case number 3160, 108 Harding Avenue has been withdrawn.
Thank you.
Simone?
All right.
Administrative calendar.
Yes. I'm going to do the administrative calendar before, and then,
Thank you.
Okay, so call and then I'll recuse.
okay, case number 2130, application of New York SMSA Limited Partnership doing business as Verizon Wireless for the upgrade and to maintain an existing public utility wireless communications facility at 840 Shore Road, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 220, Lot 80 on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map.
Okay, I have to recuse myself from participation because I worked for the firm that is presenting this application and Verizon was a former client. So I'm going to recuse. Rich Barrios is here in my place.
Good evening, everyone. Rich Barrios here.
So who will introduce a motion on this application?
I'll introduce a motion to grant.
Who will second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Morelli has introduced a motion to grant the application. Commissioner Brooks has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton,
Grant.
Commissioner Creighton,
grant,
Commissioner Acevedo,
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks,
Grant.
Commissioner Leonetti,
Grant.
Chairman Morelli.
Grant.
This application has been granted. Okay, Simone's back.
I'm back. Thanks, Rich. Have a good night.
Hi,
Thank you,
good night,
Rick.
everyone.
Good night. Thank you.
thank you, Rich.
I'm
Good night, Rich.
going to call the cases that were previously heard. Case number 3154, application of James and Mary Mangles of 517 West Beach Street, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-106.15 harboring poultry to install a chicken coop and maintain live poultry at 517 West Beach Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 26, Lot 167 on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Who will introduce a motion on this application?
Much as I'd love to grant, I'll make a motion to deny because it's a use variance and they didn't meet the criteria for use variance.
I will second the motion.
Motion to grant the application. Chairman Morelli has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton?
That was to deny, Robin, I think.
Moved.
To deny.
Deny for the same reason.
Okay. Who seconded? Chairman?
I second.
Okay. Commissioner Alton?
Deny.
Commissioner Creighton?
Deny,
Commissioner Acevedo?
Deny.
Commissioner Brooks?
Deny.
Commissioner Leonetti?
I also think it would probably not be a bad thing, but they had not met the requirements for a use variance. So deny.
Chairman Morelli?
Deny.
This application has been denied. Case number 3158, application of Arthur Brand of 325 East Chester Street, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.7F, building area for a new rear yard extension to an existing single-family house at 325 East Chester Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 138, Lot 54, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Who will introduce a motion on this application?
I'll make a motion to grant.
Commissioner Leonetti has introduced a motion to grant the application. Who will second?
I'll second it.
Ms. Acevedo has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton,
Grant.
Commissioner Creighton,
Grant,
Commissioner Acevedo,
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks,
Grant.
Commissioner Leonetti,
Grant.
Chairman Morelli.
Grant,
This application has been granted. Case number 3159, application of 36 East Olive Street Corp. of 350 East Penn Street, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.2J subdivision for a subdivision at 365 East Penn Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as section 59, block 143, lots 66 through 70 on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Who will introduce a motion on this application?
I'll make a
I'll
motion
make
to
a
grant.
Grant.
Commissioner Acevedo has introduced a motion to grant the application. Who will second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Leonetti has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton,
Grant,
Commissioner Creighton,
Grant,
Commissioner Acevedo,
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks,
Grant.
Commissioner Leonetti,
Grant.
Chairman Morelli.
Grant,
This application has been granted. Case number 3161, application of Troy Puccia of 18 Vinton Street, Long Beach, New York, for a variance on the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.8I, minimum lot size for subdividing property into two 40 by 60 parcels at 18 Vinton Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as section 59, block 226, lots 17 through 18 on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Who will introduce a motion on this application?
I'll make a motion to deny.
Commissioner Leonetti has introduced a motion to deny the application. Who will second?
I'll
I'll-
second.
Commissioner Brooks has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton,
sorry, denied.
Commissioner Creighton,
aye.
Commissioner Acevedo,
Deny.
Commissioner Brooks,
Deny.
Commissioner Leonetti,
Deny.
Chairman Morelli.
deny.
This application has been denied. Case number 3162, application of Thomas and Tamar Gillen of 12 Vinton Street, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-113.2A, off-street parking curb cut size. For new off-street parking in the front yard at 12 Vinton Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as section 59, block 226, lot 21, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Who will introduce a motion on this application?
I'll make a motion to grant.
Commissioner Leonetti has introduced the motion to grant the application. Who will
I'll
second?
second it.
Chairman Morelli has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton,
Grant,
Commissioner Creighton,
Grant,
Commissioner Acevedo,
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks,
Grant.
Commissioner Leonetti,
Grant.
Chairman Morelli.
Grant,
This application has been granted. Case number 3163, application of Kenneth Roldan of 679 West Beach Street, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.4B height for stair access to a new roof deck at 679 West Beach Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as section 59, block 115, lot 1, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Who will introduce a motion on this application?
I'll make a motion to deny.
Commissioner Brooks has introduced a motion to deny the application. Who will second?
I'll second the motion to deny.
Commissioner Alton has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton,
Denied.
Commissioner Creighton,
deny.
Commissioner Acevedo,
Deny.
Commissioner Brooks,
Deny.
Commissioner Leonetti,
Deny.
Chairman Morelli.
deny.
This application has been denied. Case number 3164, application of Patrick Gordon of 145 West Broadway, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.5C front yard for a new front yard deck at 103 Louisiana Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as section 58, block 96, lot 28 on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Who will introduce a motion on this application?
I'll make a motion to grant.
Commissioner Creighton has introduced a motion to grant the application. Who will second?
I'll second that.
Commissioner Acevedo has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton,
Grant,
Commissioner Creighton,
Grant,
Commissioner Acevedo,
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks,
Grant.
Commissioner Leonetti,
Grant.
Chairman Morelli.
Grant,
This application has been granted. Case number 3165, application of Eric Aronowski of 16 Virginia Avenue, Long Beach, New York, for a variance from the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.19C lot area, 9-105.19D building area, 9-105.19E front yard, 9-105.19F side yard, 9-105.19G rear yard, for a new house at 16 Virginia Avenue, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 267, Lot 318, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Who will introduce a motion on this application?
I'll make a motion to grant.
Commissioner Acevedo has introduced a motion to grant the application. Who will second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Brooks has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton,
Grant.
Commissioner Creighton,
Grant,
Commissioner Acevedo,
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks,
Grant.
Commissioner Leonetti,
Grant.
Chairman Morelli.
Grant.
This application has been granted. Case number 3166, application of Bridget Rosenberg of 306 Roosevelt Boulevard, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.2C front yard, for a new front deck at 306 Roosevelt Boulevard, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 200, Lot 64, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. And we have,
Good evening. The applicants are present.
getting them.
Okay. Can the applicants come up, please? Hi, good evening, folks.
Let's see.
Where I see Charlene Rosen, are those the applicants?
Yes.
Bridget
And-
and Colleen.
Hi, how are you, folks? All right, just give
And-
us your name and address for the record, because we're running a recording, so we have to have like the record running at the same time, even though we can see.
The architect also needs to unmute their phone.
I'm Charlene Rosen. I live at 306 Roosevelt Boulevard. I live on the top floor, the second floor.
Okay,
I'm Bridget Rosenberg, 306 Roosevelt. I'm on the bottom floor, main floor.
okay. Okay, so would you please just describe the project for us that you're planning to do?
The deck would be in the front of my portion of the house. I am a single mother and I have a son. We have no access directly from our house to outside. So this would be for us to have outdoor area, outdoor space, especially after the, the pandemic. My son has been indoors. So we would like to have meals outside and be able to enjoy Long Beach that I've been enjoying for the past 26 years living here. And just to enjoy.
No, I understand. So basically, I just want to summarize this because I know the house and I live around the corner. So basically, you're in a two-family house. You're on the second floor, and all of those two-family houses, including my own, they have no access from the second floor apartment into the yard directly without having to walk downstairs out of the front door and walk all the way around, correct?
Right.
So you would like to have access from basically the second floor so that you could utilize your backyard without walking out the front with, barbecue things and into the public view. Am I correct?
Well, no, it would be for the front. In order for us to have a barbecue on the second floor, my son and I, we have no outdoor. I only have a.
You don't have any outdoor space.
Exactly.
All right. So basically now, what are the dimensions of the deck, Ms. Rosenberg? Do you know?
8 feet by 17.
Okay, so
It's only about half
17
the
feet wide.
width of the house, Rocco.
which is about the
Half the
width of
width
the
of the
house. And then it's projecting about 8 feet off the front.
Correct.
Does she want to say anything too, or no? Anyway, do any of the members of the board have any questions?
No, I think
No.
it's a good addition and it's modest.
Yeah,
It doesn't affect
absolutely.
anything else.
Anyone else? Anyone want to
No.
anyone want to speak in favor of the application? Do we have to unmute anybody to speak in favor or against? No. I would move to grant.
I'll second.
Case number 3166, application of Bridget Rosenberger, 306 Roosevelt Boulevard, Long Beach, New York, for a variance from the following sections of the zoning code of ordinances of City of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.2 front yard for a new front deck at 306 Roosevelt Boulevard, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 200, Lot 64, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Chairman Morelli has introduced a motion to grant the application. Commissioner Lilly has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton,
Grant.
Commissioner Creighton,
Grant.
Commissioner Acevedo,
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks,
Grant.
Commissioner Leonetti,
Grant.
Chairman Morelli.
Grant.
This application has been granted.
Thank you so much.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Have a nice
Be safe,
evening.
Enjoy it.
everybody.
Thanks.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night. Next case.
Case number 3167, application of Francis and Barbara O'Hagan of 47 Delaware Avenue, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the City of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.5C front yard for a new front deck at 47 Delaware Avenue, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 259, Lot 20, Nassau County Land and Tax Map. We have.
Good evening. The applicant's present, please.
Frank O'Hagan. You have to unmute your phone, Mr. O'Hagan.
We got it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Sorry.
All right, sir. Give us
So
your
we
name and address, please, while you're here.
My name is Frank O'Hagan, and the address of the property is 47 Delaware Avenue, Long Beach, New York.
Okay. So you're here for a front yard variance.
Yes,
You're requiring a front yard that leaves you only 1 foot from the property line.
I'm sorry?
My first question, you're requiring a variance that indicates you want a new front yard that would leave only 1 foot from the property line. Am I correct?
That is correct. We currently have a deck that is within 3 feet of the property line, but it's a very narrow deck. We really can't use it for very much.
What's the dimension of that deck as it is?
7 feet, 4 inches by about 20 feet, 20 and a
All right,
half
so
feet.
20 is the width and it sticks out 7 feet from the house. So you're looking to go about between 9 and 10 feet. Am I correct?
Correct. That's correct.
Okay. I don't have any questions. Any members of the board have any questions?
No.
No? Is there
No.
anyone
No.
that needs to be unmuted who wants to speak in favor or against?
Are no hands raised?
No? I move to grant.
I'll second.
Okay.
Okay, case number 3167, application of Francis and Barbara O'Hagan of 47 Delaware Avenue, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the City of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.5C front yard for a new front deck at 47 Delaware Avenue, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 259, Lot 20, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Commissioner Morelli has introduced a motion to grant the application. Commissioner Acevedo has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton,
Grant.
Commissioner Creighton,
Grant.
Commissioner Acevedo,
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks,
Grant.
Commissioner Leonetti,
Grant.
Chairman Morelli.
Grant.
This application has been granted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening, sir. Good luck.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
You too.
Case number 3168, application of Jose Brito of 63 Ohio Avenue, Long Beach, New York, for a variance from the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the City of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.5C front yard to extend the front deck at 63 Ohio Avenue, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 58, Block 114, Lot 31, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map.
Okay, is the applicant present, please?
I
Mr. Brito?
see James Joyce and Mr. Brito.
Okay, so maybe Mr. Brito can just come on first, please?
Yeah.
Good evening, Mr. Brito. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good evening.
I can see you. Just give us your name and address for the record, please.
Yeah, Jose Brito, our address 63 Ohio Avenue. Long-
Okay, so Mr. Brito, just in your own simple words, you want to create a deck that's going to leave you with 1 foot. Am I correct?
Yes, we have a young son.
Can you just give us your name too, please?
Oh, sure. My name is Xenia Brito,
Okay,
also of 63 Ohio Avenue.
go ahead.
Yeah, so the condition of our current deck, it's in disrepair, it's splintering, it's very old. We have a 2.5-year-old son and another child on the way. And so
Congratulations.
thank you.
Thank you.
So we are hoping to extend our precious West End outdoor space so that we can use it and have our son play out there and have play dates, and so we can host grandparents without having people in and out of our house. Obviously, with the COVID-19 pandemic still a threat. So, trying to make more space that's fit for our growing family to really enjoy the fresh air and the Long Beach lifestyle.
Okay, great. So the question becomes now that you're looking to extend the deck that you already have and
Yes.
replace it, of course, because it sounds like the boards are in disrepair and you want to build it out a little bit at the same time. All right, now I understand that Mr. Joyce, the architect, is present as well.
He's actually not. I'm his wife. I'm just watching the meeting.
Okay.
I mean,
All right, so
if you have an
then,
important question, I could probably find out, but he's not here right now.
no, I think, you know what? I thank you, but I think the applicants probably can present their own case. I think, we kind of understand, or not kind of, we do understand what they're looking to do. So I think we'll keep it simple and we'll just ask them a few simple questions that I believe they would know. All right, Mr. and Mrs. Brito, could you just tell us what is going to be the dimension of the new deck? Do you know?
Yeah, so the current one is 7'8" by 16. And then the new one would be about 9 feet 6 inches by 16. So
Okay.
it'll
All
be
right.
an
So-
extra 2 feet
And
of foot
basically
from
you're going to be upgrading the material probably to like, a Timber Tech or a Trex or something like that,
Yep.
right? Okay,
Yes.
replacing the railing, the whole deal, and just bringing it out a foot. Okay, anybody have any questions about this project?
Yeah, this
No.
is not this is not a lifted house, right? This is a,
Well, we don't have a driveway, so we're not adding or taking away parking. It's just.
oh, no, I'm not asking, I'm just, it wasn't raised, right? So, well, typically when with decks that are that close to the property line for raised houses, and this is a prior case too, and they complied. It looks like that, like the supports will be set back a little bit, just only for the record, if it ever is raised, that these parameters are already set. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. It looks like that in the plan. Okay, I've got no other further questions.
Ms. Brito, can you just spell your first name? The stenographer needs to take it down.
Sure. It is K as in kite, S as in Sam, E, N as in Nancy, I, A. Sorry.
Come on, bring her on the camera, it's fine.
Yeah. I
Hi,
tried to give them cookies to be quiet.
hi,
Oh, God.
welcome to the meeting. How you doing? Your parents want to fix the
Is he a
house.
sales tactic by any chance?
Yeah,
No, come on.
You want a new front yard?
All right, so
Yeah.
so listen, let's and I'm sure she's probably tired too. So anyway, you want to expand the deck by about a foot or two. You're
Yes.
talking about keeping it the same width that it was in terms of the
Yes.
house. The footings are going to be back 2 feet from the 1 foot that the deck goes to the property line. Am I correct on all that I said?
Yes.
All right. Any other members of the board have any questions?
No.
All right. Is there anybody in the audience that's going to be weighing in on this for or against? No. All right. I
No.
move to grant this variance.
Second.
A second.
Case number 3168, application of Jose Brito of 63 Ohio Avenue, Long Beach, New York, for a variance from the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.5C front yard to extend the front deck at 63 Ohio Avenue, Long Beach, New York, also known as section 58, block 114, lot 31, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Chairman Morelli has introduced a motion to grant the application. Commissioner Leonetti has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton,
Grant.
Commissioner Creighton,
Grant.
Commissioner Acevedo,
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks,
Grant.
Commissioner Leonetti, Chairman Morelli.
Grant.
This application has been granted.
Okay, congratulations. Good luck with the new baby.
Thank
you
you
so
very
much.
much.
Good night, folks.
Bye-bye, you too.
Bye-bye.
Hold on. Let me just find the next. Case number 3169, application of Kevin Shea of 25 Louisiana Street, Long Beach, New York, for a variance from the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.5C front yard for a new front deck at 25 Louisiana Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as section 58, block 108, lot 30, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map.
Good evening. Are the applicants present? Mr. Shea, I see you. I think you have to unmute yourself. Thank you. Okay, so the applicant's present. Can you tell us why you're here, sir?
We're putting in a front deck.
Name and
Can you
address.
give us your name and address, please, for the record?
Peter Shea, and it's
Hello? I don't think your connection's that great.
Wanda, can you mute also? I don't know if that's causing a problem. And it looks
I'm
like
just on the phone.
No, I know. Yeah, but can you mute your phone? Because you can hear in the background.
You can hear me on the background?
Yeah, and it was echoing a little bit.
Mr. Shea, you
Mr.
need
Shea,
to,
can you unmute, please? Dave can't unmute them, can he? Is
No,
there
we
just
can
no
only,
way
we can only ask
unmute
to
them?
unmute.
Do you want to move on to the next case and we'd come back to this?
we can.
Yeah, let's do that, all right? And maybe they can get it, they can get it working.
Okay.
Why don't we go to case 3171?
It's 3170. Case number 3170, application of Thomas Gianni of 474 Washington Boulevard, Long Beach, New York, for a variance on the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-106.17 fence height limitations to maintain a 6-foot high fence at 474 Washington Boulevard, Long Beach, New York, also known as section 59, block 33, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. I'm going to not Thomas Gianni.
Mr. Gianni, please unmute your mic. Thank you. Mr. Gianni, just give us your name and address, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Thomas Gianni. I live at 474 Washington Boulevard in Long Beach, on the corner of West
Okay.
Washington.
Mr. Gianni, you're here because the fence that you're looking for is how many feet? And you're on a corner, am I correct?
Yeah, the fence is already built.
Okay. So what brought you to the board? Did you get a violation or?
No, I did not. I just received a notice in the mail, and I dealt with it promptly with Robin. She was great.
All right. So you're on the corner. What's the cross street that you're on?
West Market Street.
Okay. So you're on Washington and Market. So now what are the heights of the fence as is?
6 feet.
Okay. So you have obviously 2 front yards. Now, do you have 2 6-foot fences in the front?
No, on the west side of the house, I have a 6-foot fence that runs from east to west, and it's about 20 feet long in the front of the house. I guess it would be the front because it's on the Washington Boulevard side.
Now, on the other side, that's on the Washington Boulevard side. What about on the other side?
On the other side, I do have a 6-foot fence also,
Okay,
but it also goes east to west. It keeps my yard private. I put a green fence. I put all what do they call green giants going from north to south, and I kept the retaining wall. I don't know if you're familiar with the house, but I went through a big
I'm looking at it right now. Let me
Yeah.
ask you a question, just for the
Yes, sir.
record. What direction does the traffic go in on Market Street? Does it go
Yeah.
east or does it go west?
Eastbound, it's a one-way, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
It's not an obstruction.
does the fence in any way obstruct vision?
No, sir.
Okay. How long has the fence been up there?
About 1 year.
Okay. What's the rest of the
Sorry,
material of
no,
the
I didn't hear him.
fence?
About how long?
1 year.
Approximately 1 year, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mr. Gianni, what is the material of the fence?
Fence is it's 4x4s, concreted in, pressure treated, and the surface is cedar, number 2 cedar, like 5-quarter decking, 16-foot boards I used so to minimize the joints.
Okay. So when I'm looking at, when I look at the pictures that's, let's say, on the internet, basically I'm looking at, you put in those boards and then cemented them in, and that's 6 foot high, because it doesn't look it on the photograph.
Yeah, it is. It's 6 foot high. It's
And you have what looks like an empty lot next to your house? You have a side yard?
Corner property. It's just
It's a corner property. It's 100 by 100 property, sir.
Okay, yeah,
It's a
so
large
I
lot
understand.
property.
Yeah.
I see that, I see by looking at that. Okay, so basically you, Mr. Gianni, you erected this fence to kind of give a little privacy to the yard since you're on a corner.
Yes, sir. And the fence, I didn't make the fence, so I closed off the whole yard. Like I said, I did the greenery and kept the retaining wall, did the renovation on that. And I put the fence in the front, like on the 2 wings on the side of the house. If you're looking at it.
Yeah, I know, I see it. I see the aerial view, and I see
Yeah.
the greenery on the other side of it.
I have a golden retriever. I have an 8-year-old in Lindell School. Her friends are always over here. I wanted to keep everybody in the yard, and we're trying to grow our family as well. I'm new here. I don't have my child in front of me, my dog, and all that stuff like the other people.
Well, you don't have to. It's all right. I'll take your word for it. It's all right. It's all right. So we get the imagery.
Thank
Do any members of the board have any questions?
No, I'd like to say that I'm very proud of the beautiful renovation you did in that house. I was always worried somebody would take it down when it was occupied previously, and you did a job that everybody in the neighborhood loves. Thank you.
All right. So is there anyone who is waiting to be heard from the audience? No?
No hand.
All right. I'll move to
Oh, wait.
grant.
I'll second it.
Case number 3170, application of Thomas Gianni of 475 Washington Boulevard, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-106.1 fence height limitations to maintain a 6-foot high fence at 474 Washington Boulevard, Long Beach, New York, also known as section 59, block 33, lot 1 on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Commissioner Morelli has introduced a motion to grant the application. Commissioner Acevedo has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton,
Grant.
Commissioner Creighton,
Grant.
Commissioner Acevedo,
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks,
Grant.
Commissioner Leonetti,
Grant.
Chairman Morelli.
Grant.
This application has been granted.
Okay. Can
Thank
we
you all so very much.
Can we go back to see if we can get Mr. Shea back on? Any
Yes,
luck with Mr. Shea?
they are on, and
I
Mr.
just
Gianni,
wanted to say, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gianni is done.
Yes, Mr. Gianni's done.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Gianni.
You're welcome.
Okay, so now let's get back to Mr. Shea to see if we can get Mr. Shea back on.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Shea, how are you? Okay,
Good. Yourself?
Good, we have you on now. So, Mr. Shea, just give us your address, please.
25 Louisiana.
Very good. So, Mr. Shea, you're here because you basically want an open porch that is going to leave you with a front yard of 1 foot. Am I correct?
That's correct.
You're on a 30 by 60 lot, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, Mr. Shea, can you just please give us the dimensions of what this new, I'm assuming it looks like a deck. What is this going to be as far as the dimension? Do you know, Mr. Shea?
Off the top of my head, I got to talk to my contractor, but off the top of my head, I'd say approximately, I think it's 30 foot by 9 foot.
No, it's probably not 30 foot, because if the lot is 30 foot, I don't think it goes the entire width of the house.
Oh, the entire
this
width of the house,
deck-
I think it's approximately 24 foot.
That's
Okay, so
22 feet per.
22 feet, okay. So, Mr. Shea, for information, the deck is 22 feet. And what did you say the projection of the deck was?
It's coming out, I think it's approximately 7-8 foot.
Okay, let me see if we can see that on the drawing.
A little hard to read, but it's,
drawing
I
here
think it's
from,
eight. I think it's
I
8,
see it from Mr. Gallinaro. You have a,
it's 8 foot and change.
it's 8 foot and change. Okay. So, it looks like a nice deck with the railing and so forth. So now, Mr. Shea, basically, the reason why the deck is a foot from the property line, it looks like the stairs on your staircase comes to about a foot within the property line. But it also looks from the drawing that it's kind of, Mike, you maybe can explain this to me. I'm a little misled by this. When I look at the staircase in the drawing, the 3D view, it looks like the stair protrudes a little bit more than the deck. But then when I look at the aerial drawing of it, it looks like the stair is within the confine of the deck.
I think it's within the confines of the deck.
Yes, it is within the confines.
Okay, so it looks like that drawing, the 3D view, is not really correct. Am I right?
No, it's correct. It's just a little hard to see. It's in line with.
Okay, all right. So
So
basically, your footings are in from that. It looks like it probably, well, actually, no, the footings are coming, am I correct on this? The footings are coming right to the end of the deck, right?
Yeah, in this case, though, since the deck is so low,
Right.
it's not like people are walking by them. And
Yes, that's true. All right, so the impact is much less.
Yeah.
I mean, we're only talking about 4 steps up.
Was it pre-existing stoop also a foot away, or was it much closer to the house or away from the property line?
Mr. Shea?
Mr. Shea?
The existing steps that were there, actually, there's approximately, I think, 4 steps going up to the house. So they would have been close, actually, maybe about 3-4 feet away from the house, maybe 4 feet away from the house.
But how close to the property line, please?
They would have been maybe 4 feet away from the property line, 5 feet from the property line.
Okay.
I have no other questions. Do any of the members of the board have any questions? Or is there anyone who is waiting to be heard on this case from the audience?
I do, Rocco. Mr.
Oh,
Shea,
go
would you have any objection to moving your footings in about 2 feet from the edge so that they're 3 feet from the property line? Just in case in the future.
Dan, again, like I mentioned before, the deck is so low, it does complicate the construction a little bit when you cantilever it like that, and it doesn't. I don't think it really accomplishes anything in this case.
The only reason I'm asking, we just asked the previous person asking for a variance the exact same thing, and he was a low one as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The deck was higher though, wasn't it?
I just want to be consistent.
Was that deck taller than this
I
stuff?
have no problem moving the footings back as long as I can get keep the size of the deck I need.
Yep, that would be fine.
That would be perfect.
Okay, so this would be a case that would be conditioned?
If somebody moves that way, yeah.
Yeah, or as amended.
All right, Nobody else wants to speak on this. I'll move to grant this case with the amendment discussed. And I guess the amendments would be in the finding that the footings would be moved in 2 feet. I just want to make sure, Mr. Leonardo, you think there wouldn't be a problem, correct?
Well, the reason we like to have them set back when we have the taller decks is when people are walking down the sidewalk, it gives them a little bit more room. In this particular case, nobody's going to be walking under the deck at all because it's only about a 3-foot deck. This one is about a foot lower than the last one that we looked at also.
Could I suggest maybe are you sure, Mr. Shea, that this isn't going to be an issue? Do you want to confirm that with your architect before, and we can just reserve this to make a decision next month, and you can tell Robin whether or not it is that you can actually do that?
Yeah, I think we can do that because there should be no problem, putting the footings back an extra 2 feet. It won't affect the deck. I don't think it'll affect the stability of the deck.
Okay,
So
it will not. It will not. No.
Yeah, definitely will not affect the stability.
Mike, I want to tell you, Michael, I agree with what you're saying, Mike. I think it's just a question of being consistent, despite the fact that
that's fine.
That the purpose was about elevated houses.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to make a motion to grant the application as amended with the footings to be brought in 2 feet from the edge of the deck.
I'll second.
All right.
Case number 3169, application of Kevin Shea of 25 Louisiana Street, Long Beach, New York, for a variance from the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.5C front yard for a new front deck at 25 Louisiana Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as section 58, block 108, lot 31 on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Commissioner Morelli has introduced a motion to grant the application as amended. Commissioner Creighton has seconded the motion. Commissioner Alton?
And as amended.
Commissioner Creighton?
Grant as amended.
Commissioner Acevedo?
Grant as amended.
Commissioner Brooks?
Grant as amended.
Commissioner Leonetti?
Grant as amended.
Chairman Morelli?
Grant as amended.
This application has been granted with the amendments stated on the record.
Good luck, Mr. Shea.
Okay, folks, thank you very much.
Good evening.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Case number 3171, application of Mark Caruso of 2 Wesley Drive, East Rockaway, New York, and Robert Hottie of So Solid Gold, Inc. of 101 Georgia Avenue, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following sections of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.16C rear yard, 9-105.16D side yard, 9-105.16H off-street parking, for a change of use to a tattoo shop at 852 West Beach Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as section 59, block 261, lot 1 on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map.
Okay.
Caruso, you need to
Do I see? Okay, I see the applicants right there. Mr. How do you pronounce your last name?
I'm Robert Hottie.
Okay. So, Mr. Hottie, how are you tonight? All right. I'm looking at the your addresses of the subject premises is what?
852 West Beach Street.
Okay, great. Thank you. So now, the items of the code that are in question are rear yard, side yard, off-street parking. Those are existing, so obviously I'm not going to belabor those points because there's nothing that you can do about that. So what I would like you to do is that just for starters, discuss the business that's you're applying for, and is this a new business that's opening up, or is this a relocation?
It's an add-on. Me and my partner, it's my partner Danielle Vetter.
Danielle.
She also is president. We both own a tattoo shop in Elmont now for the past 12 years, and we're looking to add a second studio to be closer to home. Both of us work pretty much by appointment only, and we just feel like we should, be nicer to walk at the end of the block and work instead of driving too far for work.
Okay, so now the question I have for you is, you mentioned it's an expansion. So the store that's actually across the street, am I correct? Is that related to your business, or how is that going to affect what you're doing? Isn't there
already there is closer to, it's like by Frank's
They moved,
Pizza?
yeah, close to Atlantic
So it's a little
Beach,
bit closer to Atlantic Beach, and they don't really cater to the neighborhood.
Okay.
They're more of like a closed door kind of operation. And we'd kind of be looking to make it a little bit more open and airy and inviting for the neighborhood. And
So this is basically a new shop, am I correct?
In Long Beach,
in Long Beach, yeah.
Okay, fine. Do you know what was in that store before you guys are looking at it?
Space. That's the landlord, Mark, told us it was an office space.
Okay.
So-
All right, so
Can I
now
ask Rocco?
your hours
Sorry,
of operation would be what?
11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and we'd be closed Mondays.
You close Monday 11 to 7. So
Yep.
now in the the COVID era, basically, I would imagine that it's tough to see the same volume of business that before COVID. How many clients would you be seeing typically in a day, you think, like right now? And how many artists will you have working at one time?
For a Long Beach shop, it's just gonna be me, Danielle, and one other artist, and we usually see in between 2 and 3 appointments each a day.
Okay.
Especially with COVID, we keep it pretty tight.
How many, basically, how many areas would you have in terms of seeing clients? So my question would be, during the COVID time, are you going to be overlapping people? Are you going to be having people
We
that
try
are
to
coming in
stagger 'em.
individually for the whole place? How do you plan to work it?
We try to stagger appointments so that there's not too many people in at once. But like I said, it's just 3 of us at a time. And the place is pretty spread out. So I think we have enough distance. And each person, like the person getting tattooed, can't bring anyone with them. It's basically just them by themselves.
Okay.
And we also have movable walls, separation walls that we're going to build.
Okay.
To,
Okay.
so
So you're basically going to operate on the same business model that you had in your Elmont tattoo shop?
Absolutely, correct.
Okay. What is the frontage of the storefront that you're going to be having? Do you know?
There's 4 large windows, and we plan on painting the windows with just different cool tattoo-related imagery.
Okay.
Surfing sharks.
I don't know
stuff
the
like
exact
that.
length of it or anything like that.
But I don't know exactly. Oh no, I have the. I know the footage is, if that's what you're asking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, basically, I just wanted to see, Danielle, I just wanted to see what the frontage was, store frontage was that you were occupying. Was it a 20-foot front? Is it a 40-foot front? Is it a double store?
I don't know exactly.
I'm not sure. It's a pretty wide store. It's kind of long ways on Beach
I'll see if it's on the plot map. The other
There's a
question
photo- there's
is,
a photo in the package.
so you guys, so who
There's
is,
a bunch of photos in the package, and I also.
so you guys are Solid Gold Incorporated, correct?
Yes.
That's you
Correct.
guys? Okay. And so you guys do a full range of services, correct? You do tattoos, piercings, et cetera, or you don't do all services?
That's pretty much it. Tattoos and piercings.
Okay. All right. So at this point, then, what would be the changes that would be to your other business that you have in Elmont? Would you have to cut that back, or are you going to have the same number of, let's say, hours, but you're just going to add on more artists? Is that the deal?
That's pretty much it. Both of us work by appointment only, so we're just going to kind of shift our appointments to the Long Beach location.
And you're going to keep this shop closed on Mondays, or?
Yes, that's the plan.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Marco, I just want to ask another. So, I mean, you spoke a lot about what the number of appointments would be during COVID, but when we come out of COVID, hopefully sooner rather than later, what will your maximums be? Because I think that's relevant for us to determine, the overall. Because at some point, we're going to hopefully come out of COVID.
Yeah, we've been pretty similar to the way we've always operated, even with COVID. Like I said, we both stay pretty busy and booked for a couple of months at a time. And we usually see 2 to 3 people a day, and that's it.
Yeah, they're usually 2 to 3 hour appointments per person. So,
Are most of your clients repeat tattoos?
Most of them are, yeah.
No virgins, huh?
sometimes, but.
What are there any plans for that fenced-in area to the left of the doors
I
there?
believe that's for the rest of the people that live upstairs. There's 2 or 3 apartments upstairs, I believe.
Okay, so you have nothing to do with that.
No.
No.
Okay.
And isn't there another Skin Deep right across the street, one block east?
No, it
No.
moved to like
By
almost
Frank's.
Atlantic Beach by
Yeah.
Frank's Pizza. Kind of by where 24 Hour Bagel is. It's across the street.
So
So we won't have two tattoo parlors, you know?
No, I think we're a little bit different. They're kind of like really closed and like dark, and you can't really see in or anything. I mean, we want to like use it more of like an art space and be able to like, you know, have quarterly art shows there and stuff, and like maybe art instruction and stuff.
Yeah, we've done art classes here in our Elmont location a few times.
I thought they had the same name. I thought it was Skin Deep as well.
It is. Well, that's the Skin Deep look.
That's
yeah.
Skin Deep. We're solid gold.
Oh, gotcha. I'm sorry, because I thought the shop there had the same name.
No.
Okay. I thought, sorry about that.
It's
That's okay.
So Rocco, you will have two there then, which is fine.
Okay, yeah, I understand. Are there any other questions coming from the board? Okay, is there anybody else that wants to ask any questions from the audience?
I just elevated two people, Miss Eileen Ryan and Mr. Jordan Levitt. They both
Okay, I
need
see
to
them.
unmute
All
their
right, let's
phones.
hear from Miss Ryan first. Miss Ryan, can you unmute your mic?
Yep.
Give us your name and address, please.
Hi, Eileen Ryan, 47 Arizona Avenue.
Mhm. Go ahead. Are you in favor or against?
I'm against this. Not that it's a tattoo parlor or anything like that. I have tattoos myself. All my kids have tattoos. It's not about that. This is a residential neighborhood, and bringing in a tattoo parlor on the corner. We have so many problems parking on Arizona Avenue. We are vying for spots. If this establishment had their own parking area, it would not be an issue.
Okay.
But at this
Let me
point,
ask you a question.
yes.
You know, and my question is this. So we have a business that is opening up and wanting to open up a tattoo studio that basically will have probably no more than 2 or 3 people at most in the place at one time other than the artist. So let's say maybe a grand total of 6. What was the business that was there before, Miss Ryan? Do you know? Do you remember?
A cabinet maker. It was a kitchen.
Okay, so that business might make even less demands on it. Is there any
Absolutely.
concern from yourself or from anyone else that would be speaking that other than a tattoo parlor, that someone else might open up, you know, a diner or some other little business that might put
Well, a diner wouldn't be,
in this?
it would be not be conducive to that area. So a diner, it doesn't
Well, I
have.
just said that, you know, for argument's sake, let's just say someone wanted to go in and open up a liquor store or wanted to open up just a little boutique.
Well, you know what? A liquor store, they be in and out. So I am well aware of what tattoos, how long they take. And not only that, people hanging out outside the tattoo parlor going. She said that they were going to get ear piercings, belly piercings. Our area, the bars and everything, all the commercial areas are, down further. That's one of the reasons I bought on Arizona Avenue, is because there was no bar on the corner, no, it was a kitchen cabinet maker. But I'm just saying to you that, if I lived 2 houses from that corner, and parking is a premium.
Okay.
It's a fight. It's, I have 4 children, and it's just give or take, whatever.
Okay.
I just think that a tattoo parlor with people going in there 2 to 3 hours, doing their thing, and then other people come in for belly rings, earrings, I just don't think it's conducive to our area.
Okay, thanks very much, Ms. Ryan. I see other people are looking to weigh in on this.
Rocco, just 1 second. I think, Mark, are you the applicant's attorney or no?
Our landlord.
Oh, okay, the landlord. All right, so he didn't get an opportunity to speak before, I guess, and he wanted to speak before we started.
Yes. Thank you.
I apologize for that. It was just, I don't.
Okay, let's.
Sorry, Andy.
Can
you
I
put it in the
add one
comments?
other thing? Sorry, can I add one other thing?
Go ahead.
There's 2 apartments above that store that have, 2 residents, that they have their own cars. And it's just, it would be crazy to put a store in there where there's no parking available.
Rocco, can I just make a comment?
Go ahead,
This
please.
is a existing commercial building that is existing non-conforming. I mean, we're basically saying that nothing can move into this location because they can't have customers. I have a little bit of an issue with that.
Yeah, I know, I understand.
Whoa, everybody can't, excuse me. Sorry, everyone. And I understand Zoom is a bit difficult, but if everyone can please keep themselves muted until you're called on and asked to speak. We're going in an order.
I'd like to hear from Mr. Caruso at this point. I
Yes,
think he wanted to
please.
speak.
Thank
Give
you.
us
And
your name and address.
if everyone else that's not a panelist or not a board member could mute.
Go ahead, Mr. Caruso. Name and address, please.
It's Mark Caruso, 2 Wesley Drive, East Rockaway, New York. Good evening, everybody. I just want to put out there, I've owned this building 31 years. And when I bought it, it had a store there. It's had a store there regularly. There's been all kinds of businesses, all kinds of store. I don't really feel that this type of business, especially the way it's being described, is going to generate any more cars or any more traffic than any other business would generate. And in many cases, it's going to generate a lot less.
Mr. Caruso, can you just tell us, since you have this long history, what other businesses have you had there?
So when I bought the building in 1989, Allstate Insurance was there. They left and we had a sports collectability store there. They left and we had a fish tackle and bait shop there. They left and we had a juice bar. They left and we had a construction company who did kitchen cabinets and renovations. And we had a fire 2 years ago. I had to rebuild one of the 2 apartments, and the store has been empty for 2 years. I haven't had any revenue for 2 years. And I'm 68 years old, almost 69 in January. In the winter time, I have to worry about the snow. I'm hoping against hope that we can allow these tenants to operate a business because, number one, it can't keep the store empty. Number 2, it's a store and it needs a commercial tenant. And every commercial tenant is going to have foot traffic. Maybe these people are going to walk to work. They're not going to drive and bring their own vehicles. So I would strongly request that the board take serious consideration of all these factors and grant the application.
Thank you, Mr. Caruso. All right, now, can we hear from the other people that have been muted? Do we want to go in an order? Who would be next?
Well, they're elevated. I'm just gonna look. I see just on my screen, it looks the order, and I apologize.
Jordan Levitt.
Jordan Levitt.
Yes, Lynn. Thank
Mr.
you,
Levitt,
Rob.
go ahead, please. Give us your name, address, for or against.
54 Arizona. I'm directly across the street from the business. So I think everybody's trying to be nice, and everybody is trying to be supportive of a new business in the neighborhood. But I want to talk a little bit about just how this business affects the neighborhood on a contextual basis. The reality is that you have 4 corners on this block at 54 Arizona.
I'm
and
sorry, if
3
you're not speaking, if you could just mute your mics. I apologize, but there's some feedback. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jordan.
Thank you.
No worries. And that 3 of the 4 corners on Arizona and Beach are residences. This is the only mixed-use property on Arizona and Beach. And part of the issue is that, although I have nothing against tattoos, I do believe that tattoo parlors should be in areas that are not heavily residential areas. And the West End of Long Beach of today is entirely different than the West End was prior to Hurricane Sandy. Where my house sits now paying $16,000 a year in taxes, there was a little bungalow paying $6,000 a year in taxes. So the entire West End has been transformed with raised houses, with increased, residents, full-time residents, and a much higher tax base. And the residents are dealing with quality of life issues within the neighborhood, which have been issues forever, but are certainly more sensitive to the new quality of houses that are in the West End. And being on the corner myself, I already have to deal with on a daily basis the bar traffic that runs back and forth across Beach Street, putting things in my garbage, throwing beer cans in my lawn, people leaning up against my fence, all those things. And I just personally feel that a tattoo parlor is not right for the neighborhood. I don't think it's going to bring I don't think it's bringing anything to the residents of the West End. And I think it could just as easily exist on Park in a commercial district and not have this effect on the residency. I spent 15 minutes prior to this meeting just walking down my block. And in 15 minutes, I filled up an entire page of people, almost every house on Arizona, that was willing to sign a petition against this. I forwarded this to David as well, so he has a copy of it. So I don't begrudge their ability to earn a living, but I think that this is an inappropriate location for this type of business.
Okay, Mr. Levitt, thanks very much, and we'll take that into account certainly at decision time. Who would be the next person being elevated?
Raymond Heaney.
All right, Mr. Heaney, please unmute your mic.
Okay.
Please come. And
hello, my name is
and
my name is
address.
Raymond Haney. I live at 46 Arizona Avenue.
Right.
I've been down here since 1963, and I've seen many stores operate business up at that store, but there was never a juice store there, and there was never a sports bar store there. There was a store there that was a coffee shop when I moved in here in '63, and then after that there was a furniture store run by a beautiful woman, and after that there was a insurance company came in there, and then then another company came in during the damaging from the hurricane, and they were there a couple of years, but since then it's been empty. I don't think, in my opinion, it may not be worth much, but it's worth what I think it is. We don't think we need this kind of business in Beach Street and Arizona Avenue. And we don't want, parking is a big deal. I don't care what the owner says. It's a big deal. He may not park here. He only owns a store there. And as far as I'm concerned, we don't need a store that's not going to contribute to our neighborhood better. It's going to make it worse. And I don't care what anybody says. This is not a store in Arizona Avenue and Beach Street. Thank you very much.
All right, sir. Thank you, Mr. Heaney. Next.
Patricia O'Donnell.
Ms. O'Donnell, please unmute. Name and address for the record, please.
Hi, my name is Patricia O'Donnell. I live at 35 Oregon Street. My family has owned this house for 25 years, since 1995. And we've seen a lot of stores come and go at that location, like Mr. Caruso said. And I know it is a commercial property, but I have to say, of all the stores that I've seen at that location, no one has really produced an activity that would be substantial to taking away parking spots. And I mean, I don't have a driveway. I pay a lot of money in taxes, and it's rare that I can park on my block. I always have to walk. So if we're going to bring in this business that these two young people say they want to, and they say there's only going to be 6 people at a time, but then they started talking about doing shops and teaching people. Well, now you're bringing in a lot more people, and I'm parking a block or 2 away as it is. If that happens, I'm going to be parking 5 and 6 blocks away from my home. So I really agree with the other people, most of the other people that have spoken, and I'm really sorry, but I don't think Arizona Street is the place for a tattoo parlor. I'm sorry, that's,
All right,
that's the way I
thank you,
feel. I
Ms.
wish you the
Alvarado.
best of luck if you get it, or if you go somewhere else. I wish you the best of luck.
Can I ask you, do the municipal lots come in handy to you at all? I mean, we do have a few of them scattered around the
Right, the
west end.
closest one is Virginia, that's about 5 blocks.
Okay, and you do
And
have
I
a
get
permit? Do
the,
you
I
have a
get the
permit for
permit.
that? You do have a permit? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I get that.
Thanks. Next.
Angelo Castanos.
Okay, Mr. Castanos. Unmute, please.
Good evening, board. Yeah, I'm Angelo Castano, 77 Kentucky Street, Long Beach, New York, 11561. Personally, I'm for this business. I think the following that these people have on social media and other places, especially just in their art world, not the tattoo world, will bring kids, people of all ages, to the area. And by people, I mean just people, Long Beach residents, will be able to showcase art and have a place, an outlet to on the West End here, just like Ocean View. These art exhibits will be perfect for the area. In addition to the tattooing that they will be doing, I think it'll be perfect that they exist far enough from the other tattoo shop where there's not cross competition. There's stuff like that. But I think it'll be a great addition to the neighborhood, personally.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, please. Who was the next on the list?
Alyssa Cav.
Okay,
Hey,
Alyssa.
guys. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Alyssa, 65 West Broadway. I'm personally for this. I gotta say that it seems like a little bit of a witch hunt right now. I can understand why people are upset about parking. I don't have parking, but it's kind of what you sign up for in Long Beach. If you buy a home that doesn't have a driveway, you're gonna have to look for parking. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, there should be a municipal parking lot across the street for Petrie Realty, which I believe after hours you have 2 hours of parking there. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows that. Rob? Are you allowed to park in that municipal parking lot across the street?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I'm
I
sorry.
think you have to after hours when
I know there's a
When
lot.
the real estate is
when the
closed.
real estate is
Just for
closed, I
future.
believe you are allowed to park there for 2 hours. Also, they're 20 blocks from Skin Deep, which is, it's a pretty good jump in between. I gotta say, I'm a taxpayer. Rob's a taxpayer. He's a homeowner. I'm a homeowner. I can understand how passionate people living around there could feel about, parking. And I think there's a common misconception about tattoo parlors bringing in a little bit of riffraff. And that's just not what they're about. They're really not. They stated that they're in Elmont for 12 years. That's a really long time to be in one spot. I think that it would be a great asset to the West End. I mean, Jetty's over there. They're overflowing with people. That's not what this is about. This is about 2 or 3 clients a day for each person, 2 or 3 artists in there each day. I don't think it's going to be I think it's going to be more foot traffic than car traffic. I know for a fact that Rob's definitely going to ride his bike to work. So that's one less car. Danielle as well. And if they do end up driving in snow, they're probably going to carpool. I mean, there's a lot of things I could say, but I think that you guys are not giving them a chance, and there's going to be art installations and things like that. It's not just a tattoo parlor. I think that place has been vacant for 2 years, which is a pretty long time for the West End. And it's going to bring in a lot of revenue for the surrounding restaurants and bars. And there's LB Sandwich Co's over there. And I believe Cherry Valley just closed down. So, I think it would be really great to get them in here. And I'm for it. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Who else is next?
Someone by the name of Michael.
Michael, we need a name and address, please.
Oh, I have nothing against the tattoo parlor. I think it would
Give
be,
us your name and address, please.
371 East State Street.
Okay, your name is Michael what? We need it on the record.
Sacco.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
I think the tattoo parlor would be a good addition there. There's nothing worse than a vacant piece of real estate, especially when there's inclement weather. Pipes could freeze and burst, and vandalism can take place. But These two individuals seem very respectable, and they want to bring some new life to a building that's been dead for 2 years. So I would support it.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael. There's someone else I see, Daniela Candela, waiting also.
Diana Candela.
Please
Yes, hi,
unmute.
this is Diana Candela. I'm at 853 West Park Avenue on Arizona. And I'm also not interested in this type of facility going in. I mean, the idea of having a tattoo parlor in the West End on Arizona is completely not what the neighborhood is looking for. We're also less than a mile away from Long Beach Catholic Regional School. And it's just completely, in my opinion, inappropriate type of business to have in this area. I mean, this part of the West End is really trying to rebuild it itself, and Arizona has turned itself into such a beautiful street after Hurricane Sandy, and they've rebuilt all these houses, and it's such a premier block. And now for that type of business to come in is completely defeating what every person on that block is trying to do into creating this part of the West End into a more upscale area. So I just don't think it is it's inappropriate business for this location. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anybody else that was waiting to be heard?
Hold on one second.
All right. Is there anyone else? If there's no one else, then I think, hello?
Wait, we have more. We have one more.
All right, Mr. Lynch?
Yes, good evening, Board.
Mr. Lynch going to unmute his mic?
Is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
Good evening, Board. My name is James Lynch. I'm co-chair to the Long Beach Chamber of Commerce. I've been listening to a couple of the opinions of people for and against this proposed use. It is an allowable use in the West End. I give great credit to the business owners that are looking to open up a business in this time of pandemic. I disagree with people's opinions about the type of character it brings to the neighborhood. Years ago, I used to be against this. I do not have tattoos, but my point is that this has become more of an art form. It's a different culture of people that have tattoos. This is not a biker scene. I really think that we should take a closer look and allow this and be thankful for people that are opening businesses in this time and support them. Once again, it's an allowable use, and we're just affirming that there's no parking as we did for all the other businesses that came before it. So I urge that the council approve this and support
All
our
right.
business.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lynch.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else want to speak?
There are no other
Okay.
hands.
Nobody else? All right.
I just want to be clear because there were a couple other people I think that put in the chat. The chat is not being recorded or submitted into the record. So if you'd like to speak, you need to raise your hand and we'll call on you. If you've already spoken, everybody gets one chance. It's up to the chairman whether he wants to allow people to speak again. Normally we don't. But I'm just saying for the purposes of the chat, please note that none of the comments that are located in the chat will be considered by the board because we don't we don't record that and there's no way for us to record it into the public record. So if you need to speak, you need to raise your hand.
Anyone else?
So Rocco, Jordan Lovett that previously spoke is requesting to speak again. Like I
Go
said,
ahead.
that's your call.
Go ahead. Quickly, something different that we haven't heard.
Unmute your phone.
Mr. Levitt, go ahead.
Just very quickly for the record, the parking lot across from Petrie Real Estate is private use for the real estate office only, as is the parking lot that belonged to, that was next to Cherry Valley. Neither one of those are accessible to the public. So there is no municipal parking within a reasonable distance of this location. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Levitt. Anybody else? Anybody want to add anything else? All right, the case will remain open till voting next month.
One more hand raised.
All right, then you want to get that hand, please?
It's Mr. Castanos who spoke earlier.
Go ahead, sir.
Unmute your phone.
Mr. Castanos.
You have Joe Gallinaro.
Okay.
Joe
Oh,
Gallinaro is on for a different case.
Yeah, sorry.
okay.
I was waiting for, I just was able to sign on. I was waiting for another case. So I've been trying to reach out to the board to see if it's possible to talk about 25 Louisiana Street.
It's already been granted.
We granted it already, Mr. Gallinaro.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry about that. Have a nice evening.
All right. Thank you.
Does anyone else wish to speak on this application?
All right. The case is going to remain open till voting then.
Case number 3172, application of Thomas Kanhai and Victoria Parisi of 372 East Bay Drive, Long Beach, New York, for a variance from the following sections of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York. 9-105.1C front yard, 9-105.1D side yard, for new front yard deck, side stairs at 372 East Bay Drive, Long Beach, New York, also known as section 59, block 275, lot 23, on the Nassau County land and tax map.
Okay. Is the applicant ready to log on?
Yeah. Done.
Is
Unmute
that
your
Mr. Cozzolino?
Good evening.
Okay.
Can you
Who
hear
is
me?
that now? Mr. Cozzolino?
Yes.
All right. Name and address, please, Mr. Cozzolino.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Gennaro Cozzolino.
Okay.
2125 Deer Park Avenue, Deer Park, New York, 11729. Here for the applicants, Timothy and Victoria Kanai, residing at 372 East Bay Drive, Long Beach, also known as Section 59, Block 275, Lot 23, located in a Residence B zone.
Okay. Thank you.
We're requesting relief from the board to build a 36.4 by 5 foot bi-level front deck with stairs to grade in the side yard. The proposed structure requires a variance for front yard setback, requesting 5.3 feet from permitted 20 feet, a difference of 14.7 feet, and variance for side yard aggregate requesting 10.7 feet from permitted 13 feet, a difference of 2.3 feet. The proposed structure complies with all other zoning requirements. The homeowners purchased the house back in March of 2019. They have 3 young children, and for safety purposes, would like to build this bi-level deck in the front. This house is a raised house, and although the upper level is sprinkled to code, there is no secondary means of egress from the first floor or the second floor.
The house is 47 by 57. Is that correct?
The house, yes.
Okay.
And there are several homes with similar decks in the front yard, and we're asking the board to grant this application. Thank you.
All right. So, Mr. Cozzolino, would you describe this deck for us, please?
It is 36.4 feet
Yeah.
by 5 feet. It's 2 levels. First floor and a second floor off of the bedrooms on the second floor.
Okay. So basically, the house is 36.4 feet wide. So the deck runs from one end of the house to the other end. Am I correct?
Well, the house is actually 33.4 feet. We're extending 3 feet to allow the stairs.
To allow for the staircase.
Correct.
Okay, I understand. So then, as a result of that extension for the staircase, that's where the side yard becomes 5 feet instead of the required 8 feet. Am I correct?
Correct, Mr. Chairman.
All right. And then the bi-level deck would be of equal dimension?
No, actually, the upper level of the deck will only be, give me 1 second.
In the width of the house?
The first floor level of the deck will be the width of the house.
Well,
And the second,
yeah.
this upper level will be 19.9 feet.
Okay. I understand, and I understand. I see where the stairs are going. I don't have any other questions. Any members of the board have any questions?
No.
Anybody else want to speak in favor or against? Anybody want to make a motion on the application?
Wait, there's one person, Rocco, or
right,
at
where
least
are
Robin.
they?
It looks like Michael.
I don't see him on my. I don't see him on my board. On my
No, now
screen.
he's, hold on. Robin's working on it.
Michael, you did.
It's Michael Sacco, 371 East State Street, Long Beach.
Hello.
Hi, thanks for inviting me to the meeting.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I have a concern about the deck being built, and it would probably be for safety and quality purposes. This same house just 5 months ago tried putting an unpermitted illegal deck on the rear of the house with stairs. They were shut down, thankfully, I guess, by the building department and police department. And that kind of made the homeowners upset because they went to other people's houses and texted people wanting to know who turned them in. But it's a big deck. It takes up over half of the side yard. There's utility poles in the front of this house with wires and everything. It's a busy street with the hospital, emergency room, and nursing home. And there's a lot of traffic on that street, and the deck protruding close to the power lines could be a safety issue. And it's just a concern of mine.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Anybody else want to be heard?
There is one other person, but his hand has been up since the tattoo parlor, Angelo Castanos, and I don't believe he's speaking on this case.
Okay. All right. So is there anybody else on this case that's going to be heard?
No, I don't see anybody else
All
right
right,
there.
fine. So does anybody want to make a motion, or are we going to hold this case over till next month? All right, the case is going to be held over until next month since I didn't get a motion. Let's move on to the next case.
Case number 3173, application of Donna Papalardo and Jeff Paragallo of 48 Alabama Street, Long Beach, New York, for a variance in the following section of the zoning code of ordinances of the city of Long Beach, New York, 9-105.5C front yard, for a new second-story deck at 48 Alabama Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 259, Lot 4, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map.
All right, is the applicant present?
If you are the applicant or their representative, please.
Mr. Pergallo, it's case number 3173. I don't see anybody.
Yeah.
Going once, going twice.
Will have to be heard next month.
Yep, okay. So at this point, we did the administrative cases. We heard the cases for this evening. So I'm now going to close this meeting.
No, there's one more, Rocco. There's just an extension.
Okay, all right, let's work on that.
Okay. Case number 3140, application of Brian Hollador of 119 West Market Street, Long Beach, New York, for an extension of the variance granted by the Zoning Board of Appeals for a carport addition at 119 West Market Street, Long Beach, New York, also known as Section 59, Block 68, Lot 72, on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. Who make a motion on this application?
All right, I move to grant the application for an extension of 9 months, correct?
9 months? Okay.
Yeah.
Who will second?
I'll second.
Commissioner
All right.
Brooks is second motion. Commissioner Alton?
Grant.
Commissioner Creighton?
Oh, I was muted. Grant.
Commissioner Acevedo?
Grant.
Commissioner Brooks?
Grant.
Commissioner Leonetti?
Grant.
Chairman Morelli?
Grant.
This application has been granted a 9 months extension.
Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We will close the meeting at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
good
you
night,
all.
everybody.